Hello, fabulous scholars. So yesterday when we left off, we were in the middle of my favorite scene in the whole play because Antipholus and Dromio, who live in this house, use your imagination, had come home only to find the door locked and they couldn't get in. And what's worse, Antipholus had invited, two of his friends to come to lunch with him, only they can't get in. And then they start knocking on the door to have the servants let them in. The other Dromio, the visiting one, comes to the door, but instead of opening it, he yells at these rude people banging on the door to go away. Remember, he's been told to let nobody in because Adriana is having lunch with her husband, or so she thinks, because this is really her husband. And then another servant has just joined them, and they're just yelling back and forth through the door. If they would open it, they would see their identical. Well, let's find out. All right, let's see here. So this is Luce. She comes up, she's the servant. She says, "What a coil is there, Dromio? Who are those at the gate? Oh my goodness, it is really noisy over here. Who's pounding on the door?" Dromio outside recognizes her voice and calls, "Let my master in, Luce." "Let him in. Your boss is outside. Let him in." And Luce says, "Faith, no, he comes too late. And so tell your master." "Oh, I'm not letting him in. He's too late to come for lunch. We've already started eating." And Dromio on the outside says, "Oh, Lord, I must laugh. Have at you with a proverb. Shall I set in my staff?" It's basically saying, what? How can he be too late? He's the guy that owns the house. And anyway, Luce just says, "Have at you with another. That's when. Can you tell?" "Go away, you. Just shoot." And Dromio on the inside turns to her and says, "If thy name be called Luce, Luce, thou hast answered him well. Good one, Luce," right? And Antipholus bangs on the door now and says, "Do you hear, you minion? You'll let us in, I hope. Hey, you work for me. Let me in." And Luce says, "I thought to have asked you. I haven't invited you to come in." And Dromio on the inside says, "And you said no. And we told you no, you're not getting in." Dromio on the outside says, "So come help well struck. There was blow for blow. Boom, boom, boom. If you don't let me in, the next time I see you, I'm going to hit you like I'm hitting this door." And then Antipholus says, "Thou baggage, let me in. You worthless servant, let me in." And Dromio says, "Master, knock the door hard. Oh yeah, you pound on the door now. Then they'll surely let us in." And Luce says, "Let him knock till it ache. Oh, he can pound on the door all he wants. We're not letting him in." Antipholus says, "You'll cry for this minion if I beat the door down. You are going to be in so much trouble if I have to knock down my door to get inside my own house." And Luce says, "What needs all that? And a pair of stocks in town. Oh, you think you're going to knock the door down? You're going to get punished by the police, and your punishment is you're going to have to go in the stocks." That's where you put your arms and your head through, and you have to stand like that all day. Not pleasant. And so they've been pounding on the door and just yelling at each other through the door for about 10 minutes. And Adriana finally comes out because she's trying to enjoy a nice lunch. And there's all this yelling and shouting and pounding at her door. And she says, "Who is that at the door that keeps all this noise? Who is pounding on the door and making all this noise?" And Dromio, then one inside, says, "By my troth, your town is troubled with unruly boys. I had no idea. Your town is full of troublemaking kids." And Antipholus hears his wife. He recognizes her voice through the door, and he shouts, "Are you there, wife? You might have come before. Is that you, wife? Why haven't you come and opened the door for me yet?" And Adriana is really offended because she's eating lunch with her husband. Her husband is in the dining room, not standing outside. And so she says, "Your wife, sir knave, go get you from the door. How dare you call me your wife? Go away. And Dromio outside says, if you went in pain, master, this knave would go sore. If you left now, sir, I would be very upset at this. And Angelo the goldsmith, who was promised some lunch, now says, here is neither cheer, sir, nor welcome. We would fain have either. Wow, we're not getting a good welcome here or good food here. Some lunch. And Balthazar says, in debating which was best, we will part with neither. Remember when we were arguing over what was better to have, welcome or good food? We were kind of foolish because now we've got neither one. And Dromio's like, psst, psst, Antipholus. They stand at the door, master. Bid them welcome hither. Psst. Hey, Antipholus, did you know your friends are standing over there in the street waiting to be invited in? Why aren't you inviting them in? I don't think he's helping. Antipholus says, there is something in the wind that we cannot get in. Something's up. Somebody's planning something that we can't get into the house. And Dromios going to make a joke about something in the wind means there's something up, but he's going to make a joke about wind. So Dromios says, you would say so, master, if your garments were thin. Your cake here is warm within. You stand here in the cold. It would make a man as mad as a buck to be so bought and sold. I agree, sir. Yeah, the wind is chilly because my clothes are kind of thin. Hey, haven't you thought about this? Like, your food is really warm and tasty inside the house, but you're just standing here in the street like a fool. That would make me really angry. And it is making Antipholus really angry. And so Antipholus is like, ugh, go fetch me something. I'll break open the gate. Go get me some kind of tool. I'm going to break down the door. And Dromio on the inside says, break any breaking here, and I'll break your knave's pate. Oh, if you try to break open the door, I'm going to break open your head. And then Dromio on the outside shouts again, a man may break a word with you, sir, and words are but wind. I break it in your face, so we break it not behind. So he's saying, yeah, you talk really loud, but strong words from somebody who won't open the door. And then Dromio on the inside says, it seems thou wants breaking. Out upon thee, hind. So it seems like you need training. Like you might break a horse to wear a saddle. It means training. So they're making jokes with the word breaking. And then he's like, okay, enough with the jokes. Go away. And the Dromio on the outside says, here's too much out upon thee. I pray thee, let me in. All right, I'm tired of you telling me to go away. This is my house. Let me in. Oh, yeah, when fowls have no feathers and fish have no fin. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll let you in. When birds have no feathers and fish don't have fins. And then Antipholus says, well, I'll break in. Go borrow me a crow. I will break open my door. Somebody go find me a crowbar. And Dromio on the outside goes, oh, a crow without feather. Because a crowbar is just a piece of iron, right? A lever with a wedge on the end. Oh, hey, he said he won't let us in till you find a bird without feathers. A crowbar doesn't have feathers. That'll get us in. Master mean you so? For a fish without a fin, there's a fowl without a feather. If a crow help us in, sir, I will pluck the crow together. Oh, if that crowbar will get us in, let's go do it. And Antipholus turns to him and says, go get thee gone. Fetch me an iron crow. Why are you standing here talking to me about it? Go do it. Get the crowbar. And then Balthazar decides that he'd better step in and be a little bit more helpful and says, have patience, sir. Whoa, 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 whoa. Before you break down your door, hang on a second. Oh, let it not be so. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Herein you war against your reputation and draw within the compass of suspect the unviolated honor of your wife. Hey, you're kind of respected in this town, and so is your wife. If you break open your door, are people going to respect you anymore? Once this, your long experience of her wisdom, her sober virtue, years, and modesty, plead on her part some cause to you unknown. Your wife is really kind and virtuous and honest, And you've known her for years to be like this. So doesn't that tell you there's something else here going on that you don't know? Balthazar seems pretty smart. And doubt not, sir, but she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Don't doubt, Antipholus, that you'll find out your wife had a really good reason for locking you out of your house. Be ruled by me. Listen to me, follow my directions. Depart in patience. Let's just go. And let us to the Tiger all to dinner. And about evening, come yourself alone to know the reason of this strange restraint. Let's all go have lunch at the Tiger, and later tonight you can come back by yourself so there's not an audience, and you can find out why she decided to lock you out. If by strong hand you offer to break in, now in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it. If you break in right now in broad daylight where everybody can see you, people are going to start telling jokes about you. And that supposed by the common route, against your yet unguarded estimation, that may with foul intrusion enter in, and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. So if people see you breaking in and they start telling jokes about you, they are going to keep telling those jokes the rest of your life. Even after you die, they're going to be making fun of you. Do you want that? Do you really want people to be making fun of you after you die because you had to break into your house? And Balthazar finishes up, for slander lives upon succession, forever housed when it gets possession. People love to tell kind of mean jokes about other people, and they don't stop once they get started. And Antipholus, as upset as he is, listens to Balthazar and says, you have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and, in despite of mirth, mean to be married. All right, I'll listen to you. I will leave quietly. And even though she is laughing at me, I'm going to have fun too. I know a woman of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild, and yet too gentle. There will we dine. I have a really good friend. She's pretty and smart and really funny. She'll be glad to see us. We should have lunch at her house. This woman that I mean, my wife, but I protest without desert, hath oftentimes upbraided me withal. My wife doesn't really like her. She says we spend too much time hanging out. I don't think that's true. To her will we go to dinner. Let's go to her house for lunch. And then he goes over to Angelo the goldsmith and says, get you home and fetch the chain. By this I know 'tis made. Bring it, I pray you, to the Porpentine, for there's the house. Okay, I need you to go back to your jewelry store and finish the necklace I ordered from you. You'll bring it to me at the Porpentine, that's the name of my friend's house, and then I'll know that you've finished making it. That chain will I bestow, be it for nothing but to spite my wife upon mine hostess there. I'm going to give that necklace, which I had promised to my wife, to my friend who will definitely feed me lunch as revenge against my wife. Good sir, make haste. Since mine own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll knock elsewhere to see if they disdain me. Hurry, Angelo, go get that necklace. Since my wife won't let me in, I'm going to go see if somebody else will make me feel more welcome. And Angelo says, I'll meet you at that place some hour hence. I'll see you at the Porpentine in 1 hour. And he exits. And Antipholus agrees and says, do so. This jest shall cost me some expense. You do that. I know this trick on my wife, giving away her necklace to someone else, is going to be an expensive prank, but I think she deserves it after locking me out. And so he and Balthazar and Dromio all leave without ever having opened the door. Ugh, so close. Oh well, maybe next time. Bye, scholars.